I'm pretty excited today. I've got my hands on an Air Hogs Millennium Falcon quadcopter. This, I think, just came out a couple of weeks ago. I've seen some reviews online, not too many though, and I was pretty interested to try it out myself. So here it is. We're gonna look at this from a couple of factors. First of all, how flyable it is, how easy it is for beginners, and then just kind of the coolness factor. So let's get it open and check it out. And here it is. It is a little bit bigger than I was expecting, but that's not a bad thing. It probably will add to the stability of it. It's got an on-off switch on the top here. It looks like it's got a charging port, and it's got the 4 motors built in, and it looks like they're pretty well protected, which means that if you crash against a wall or a ceiling or something like that, I think it's going to hold up pretty well. So let's get the instructions out and see what they say about charging, and also get the charger. So it looks like it's got a USB. This looks like a standard USB charger with that kind, which I don't know what that's called, but it's one of the more modern USB chargers. I have a lot of USB cables, and I have several of these, so that's good. It means that I'll be able to use a standard USB charger. And then the remote is in here. Pull this guy out. Looks like this is also kind of taped in. Okay, I've got my 6 AA's here. I'm going to place them in the appropriate direction. Looks like it has these little dividers that kind of keep these things in the right place. So we've got our 6 batteries in. Put the lid back in place. Close it up. Alright, looks like my remote's ready to go. This must be the power button. Yep, power on. I'll bet the blinking means that it's looking for the quad. Let's turn the quad on and see if it's got any juice. I haven't charged it yet, so we'll see. There's some blinks. Alright, that tells me that it's got the sound effect going. It's sitting here ready to go. So I'm going to move this box. We'll give it a little flight and see how it does with no charge, meaning that it's just been charged in the what it came with. It's got some really cool lights, as you can see on the back. It's got these blue lights. It's got the white ones in the front, and it sounds like it's got a sound effects button you can push, which gives you R2-D2. Some weapons fire, Chewbacca, more weapons fire. So it sounds like it's kind of random with what sound effect you get when you push it, but that's kind of cool. And then let's see what this one does here. Oh, more sound effects. So these 2 buttons here, oh, this must be the takeoff sound effect. And then these are the ones I was just playing, the laser fire and Chewbacca. You can't push them real fast. You have to wait till it finishes before you can push it again. Alright, so I've got the throttle stick all the way down. I've got the left, right, center in the center, you know, the controller. I've been flying quads for 2 or 3 years now, so I consider myself decent at it. And this is my first time to fly this one, so let's see how it goes. There's no wind in here. I've got a nice big open space to fly in my living room, and I'm going to give it a try. So there it is, hovering. Took quite a bit of stick to get it off the ground. But you can hover it in one place. Takes a little adjustment. I'm running the stick about 3/4 of the way up, which you wouldn't do on a bigger quad, but it seems to hover just fine. It is yawing a little bit to the left. I don't see any trim buttons on this to be able to trim it, but I'll check and see that in a minute. And yeah, let's take it out and fly it around the living room a bit. Coming straight towards us. Now back. It's pretty stable. I haven't done any big major moves with it yet. We'll land it back over here on the table for a second. Push the sound effect for takeoff and go up. There's the yaw. Now it's pretty stable. I have to say it's not too bad as far as stability. Like I said, you have to give it a little more throttle than I'm used to, but it feels a little bit heavy with that case that's around it. I'm hitting the sound effects button, not getting anything. Maybe it's too loud for me to hear it, because it is not super loud, but about as loud as a standard quadcopter. It's definitely got that whine of the 4 motors. But it's pretty cool. I mean, it really does, with these lights on it, it really does look pretty impressive. It's definitely got a cool feeling to it. Like you're really flying the Millennium Falcon. Here we go. Here's our takeoff. Like I said, you got to give it a good amount of throttle before it actually will take off. It's just kind of hovering right above the carpet. Try a fly through on the shot. Alright, I kind of just set it down kind of hard back there, but it doesn't look like it hurt it at all. Try it again. You definitely, it's hard to fly close to the ground because you get kind of a ground effect with the fans, and so you want to get it at least a foot off the ground before it gets a little easier to fly. Now the lights are blinking, which is telling me I'll bet the batteries are low because I haven't charged it. So I'm gonna fly it just a little bit more around the room. I do want to say one quick thing about charging it. The charger is actually built into the controller. This little flap flips up in the bottom right, and there is a cable that comes out that you plug in up here in the top. And it looks like there's only one way to plug it in. Let's see if I can get it right. There we go. I've just plugged in the charger. I don't know. I suppose the controller has to be on, and yes, it does. And when it's on, you can see that charging light is flashing, which is a good thing. Now, right now, I'm charging it off of the AA batteries that are inside the controller, which is fine. I'm sure that will charge it just fine. I don't know how quickly or slowly it will take, but it does drain those AA batteries. So another way you could go about this that is pretty cool, which I think is a nice feature on this, is you can actually take the USB cable that comes with it and plug that into a standard USB port like this, or just a wall plug. This one happens to be for an iPhone. Plug that into the wall and then plug your USB cable into the bottom of the remote control, making sure to do it the right way. And that, I believe, is going to give you pass-through charging, meaning that instead of using your batteries in your controller to charge it, you'll actually be using the electricity from the wall to charge it. So I'm going to let it charge for a bit and see how long it takes. And let's see, I guess you can turn the power on and off while it's charging. Oh, no, when you turn it on, it stops charging. You see that little light stopped blinking. So you have to have this off in order for it to charge. Now you see that light started blinking again on my remote, which tells me it's charging. So make sure your power on your remote is on and the power on your quadcopter is off while it's charging, and you'll get this little blinking light, and that tells you it's charging. And if you can, plug in the remote to the USB cable via a USB connector, and that way you'll have the thing charging via wall power instead of the batteries in your remote. So let's let it charge for a bit, and then we'll take it outside and see how it does in a little bit of wind. So after some successful flying around inside, I decided to bring it outside and see what it would do in a light breeze. It's pretty calm today, but I'd say 3, 4, 5 miles an hour occasionally coming through. So I'm turning on the controller. It's kind of hard to see if it's on because of the bright sun. And by the way, when the battery is finished charging, this charge light stops blinking red and turns green, so that's how you know. Turn on the quad. It's very important too, when you turn the quad on, to make sure that it is sitting on a flat level surface, because that's how the gyros tell it what flat looks like. So give it our sound effect. Take off. See how it does out here. So far so good. Seems to be handling the little bit of wind that's out here pretty well. It's definitely feeling the wind. I can feel it pushing against it, but I'm able to keep it under control. Whoa, caught a little wind there. It went down. I don't know if you caught that, but so to wrap this up, my conclusion about the AirHogs Millennium Falcon quadcopter is that it is a pretty cool toy. It's definitely got a lot of cool detail. The body quality and the build quality seems really good on it. And it's not cheap, but it definitely seems to withstand crashes pretty well. I think it's going to be very durable for someone who's just learning how to fly it. Now, regarding that, I would not call it an easy quadcopter to fly. I would say if someone is trying to fly it and it's their first time flying a quadcopter, it's going to be a little bit challenging. They're going to have to learn how to give it just enough stick, keep it in control, and definitely fly in a place with no wind, because the wind affects it greatly with this big body wrapped around it and these probably not so powerful engines. But as far as something that someone with an aptitude for flying radio control or some experience with flying radio control could do, absolutely. Someone with some experience could definitely fly this thing, or somebody who will take the time to learn how to do it and hover and learn the basics before they jump into the more complex stuff. As far as a kid or a grown-up for the first time, I'd say this isn't the best first quadcopter to fly. It's not the best flying quadcopter. It's okay, it's fairly stable, but it's just the coolness factor of flying the Millennium Falcon, the sound effects that come on the remote control. Those are the things that really make it worthwhile. So I would recommend this to somebody who is a big Star Wars enthusiast and someone who might want to get into flying quadcopters. But if you are going to want to get better and learn how to fly a real quadcopter and not a toy quadcopter, I would definitely recommend either a Phantom or a SEMA or a Hubsan or any other number of a Blade, any other number of quadcopters that are going to be easier to fly and better performance. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel, Ready Set Drone, on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Fly safe and have fun.